Okay, so here we are learning the vocab, and the approach is going to be to learn through syllables, that is breaking a word into consonant parts. And we're going to break word into three parts: prefix, root word, and suffix. Okay, prefix is something that attaches itself before the root word. Suffix is something that attaches itself after the root word, right? So as the name suggests, pre is before, right? Prefix is something that fixes itself before the root word. Root word is the skeleton part of the word, right? So we're going to see how prefixes they work, make a word negative or positive, right? So prefixes could be either positive or negative. If the prefix is positive, the word is going to be positive. If the prefix is negative, the word is going to be negative. Let's take a positive prefix. For example, eu is a positive prefix. It means pleasant or good, right? Therefore euphoria is eu is there at the beginning, so euphoria would mean something positive. So it means highest state of excitement, right? If you are euphoric, that means you're very excited, you super happy, right? Euphony is also a pleasant is also a positive word. Eu is positive. Phony comes from phonetics, so this word means pleasant sound. Euphony is basically a pleasant sound, or sound of a cuckoo bird would be euphonous, or it would sound pleasant, right? So someone who sings very beautifully would have a euphonous voice, right? Or melodious, euphonous, right? So euphony is a pleasant sound of cuckoo bird would be euphonous in nature. Opposite would be cacophony. Caco is harsh. Phony comes from phonetics. Phonetics is to do with sound. So say for example, gramophone is there. That phone is basically that represents the sound part, right? So caco is harsh. That's a negative prefix. So cacophony would be a harsh sound of a donkey or a sound of a crow. That would be cacophonous in nature. Eulogy, eulogy, begins with eu. Eu is a positive prefix. So eulogy means to sing praises or to say nice things about someone. Say for example, in this picture, the ex-president of US, he is eulogizing the martyr, the soldier who's died. So it is called eulogizing someone or saying nice things about someone, right? So this has been associated in Christianity, at something which has become part of the funeral. So in the process of funeral, people, they eulogize someone who is departed, right? So that is called eulogizing or singing praises. Euphemism is also a positive word. It means it begins with eu. It means sugar coating, or to say something bad in a less harsh way or in a pleasant way. That is called euphemistic statement. Say for example, if you want to say your friend who's gained weight, if you want to say that, instead of saying that you become fat, which is a harsh thing to say, you say that okay, you put on some weight, right? That's a less harsh way to say the same thing. In this picture, instead of saying that you're fired, the boss chooses his words carefully, and he says instead that I'm letting you go. That's a less harsh way to say the same thing, that the person is fired, right? So another example could be, instead of saying that the person is dead, you say that the person is no more, right? Something of that sort. So that is called a euphemistic statement, or euphemism is basically sugar coating, right? So eu is a positive prefix. Eudaemon, therefore you can make a guess, would be a good spirit or bad spirit. Demons are basically spirits or ghost. So eudaemon would be a positive word because it begins with a positive prefix. So eudaemon would be a good spirit. Now out of these two, can you figure out which one is a eudaemon, A or B? So your answer would be A. Eudaemon is a positive spirit or an angel or a fairy, right? Now B is, on the other hand, is a bad spirit. Now something that you might have seen in the movie Nun or in the movie Conjuring. So very iconic picture. So this is a bad spirit, and therefore can you make a guess what that word could possibly be to describe something which is a bad spirit? And the word is cacodemon, right? Cacodemon is harsh or bad spirit, right? So B, the word is cacodemon. Caco is negative. Euthermic, eu is pleasant or optimum. Here it would mean optimum. Thermic comes from thermal, temperature, thermometer, right? So euthermic would mean pleasant temperature or optimum temperature, right? In the current pandemic of coronavirus, people with thermal scanners, you could see people with thermal scanners scanning the temperature, and if the people are found to be euthermic, they are let go. Otherwise they are sent to quarantine centers, or they are investigated or they are checked upon, right? So euthermic is pleasant or optimum temperature, right? Another now root word chron is used to describe time, right? Chron is used to describe time. So chronological, if things are arranged in chronological manner, that means they've arranged in time wise manner. So something which has happened first would be arranged first, and then something that has happened later would follow next, right? So say for example over here you could see the history of journalism in India has been shown in a chronological manner. Say something which has happened first, that is in 1780 has been shown first, and then 1782, 91, 99 and 1816. So things are shown in chronological manner, right? Chronicle is basically a journal or book which talks about a story at a particular point in time, something that happened at a particular point in time. So Chronicle of Narnia would be a story that happened at a particular point in time. Chronic is used again, something to do with time. Chron is time. Chronic is something that that is there for an indefinite period of time, or that is there forever, right? Or that is long lasting. So if you say chronic disease, someone has chronic disease, what you mean is the person has a long lasting disease, that disease has been there forever, right? On the other hand, opposite word is acute. Now acute diseases are not long lasting, they are there for a short period of time, but then they're severe. So meaning of the word acute is severe, or something which is very harsh, kind of in a negative way. So if you say that I'm having acute pain, that pain is very sharp, that pain is very severe, right? Also this word could be used in a positive context when you describe a person. Say for example, if you say that the person has acuity, ACUITY, you mean the person is sharp, or the person is acute, or astute is another word to describe person who's sharp or who's intelligent. So in that case the word would have a positive connotation, right? So acute is sharp or harsh, or a kind of you could say severe. Acute pain would be a severe pain, right? Chronometer, similarly, chron is time, meter is measurement, so something that measures time. So your wristwatch, your table clock, they would be example of chronometer. Chronographer, grapher comes from graphite, graphene, something that is there in your pencil lead and that is used to write. So therefore grapher is someone who writes, chrono is time, someone who writes time, or someone who keeps a record of time. So for example, in tennis game you would see chronographers jotting down or keeping a record of time, that who played for how long, right? So that is chronographer. Synchronous, sing is together, sync is together, chron is time, so something which is happening together in time. So for example, these people, they are speaking at the same time, and these people are chatting at the same time. So this is example of synchronous conversation, right? If I'm taking a live class, that would be example of synchronous learning, and this one where I'm recording a lecture and you're seeing at a different point of time, that is example of asynchronous. Asynchronous, something which is not happening together in time. Synchronous, something which is happening together in time. The word crony has a negative connotation. You might have often heard this word crony capitalism. Now what it means is this word was coined by actually Warren Buffett, and it means cronies are basically people who are partners in crime. They are friends, but then this word is used in a negative connotation. That means such friends who help each other in doing something negative. Say for example, in that case, crony capitalist would be those people who let's say it could be some businessmen or people in the government departments, or some bureaucrats who are helping each other. So they would be giving rise to something which is called crony capitalism, right? So there everybody is helping each other, but then for a bad reason, they would be giving rise to corrupt practices. So cronies are, if you say that okay, these people are mayor's political cronies, so what you mean is that these people are helping the mayor and they are their friends, and they're helping them in wrong pursuits. So cronies are, now how it is related to chron time, basically we generally refer to them as they've been friends forever, right? And in a negative way. So cronies. Anachronism, an is not, chron is time, so not as per time. Anachronism word means something which is not as per time, or wrong time. Say for example, if I'm wearing a sweater in the month of June, July, that would be anachronistic, right? Not as per time, I should be wearing something light. So in this picture is anachronistic. Why? because Abraham Lincoln, he died somewhere close to 1860, and the device that he has, the radio, was invented after he died. So this picture is anachronistic, right? So anachronism. Now pecuniary, the root word is penny. So pecuniary is penny related or money related or financial. So pecuniary transaction would be a financial transaction. Impecunious, pecunious is penny related, money related. Im is not, impossible is not possible. In the same way, that prefix. So impecunious is someone who's not having penny, or someone who's penniless, or someone who's poor. Penury also derives its meaning from the root word penny. So penury is having state of abject poverty, or having no money, or someone who's penniless would be in a state of penury, right? Again comes from penny. Now these two words, they're very similar in meaning, but then they're very similar in spelling, but then they're very different in meaning. Indigent, the first word, means poor, while the second one, indignant, means someone who's angry. And how could you differentiate between the two? How could you remember? Similarly, see, very simply, see the second word, it ends with ant, ant. So you could say that, okay, someone who's bitten by an ant would be angry. So indignant is angry, the second one, indignant, is angry, while indigent is poor, right? So this is how you could remember. The word pugnacious means someone who's angry or aggressive. So to remember, you could see, you could visualize this picture of a pug who's very angry, or who's kind of aggressive looking. So pugnacious, if you're saying that the person is pugnacious, or he's a pugnacious person, that means the person is angry or aggressive, would most likely fight. The word truculent is a synonymous to the previous word, and you could imagine that there's a truck. You could visualize and link it with that, and the truck is kind of very violent truck, as in the picture. It's killing a lot of people. It's causing mayhem on the street. It's a very violent or aggressive truck, right? So if a person is truculent, that person is very violent or aggressive, right? So that's for the first session. Now happy learning, all the very best, keep revising. Thank you so much. So that's all from my side.